you please join me in saying the Lord's Prayer? Our Father,
who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome you all to our meeting tonight. Again, we apologize for having convened the meeting late like this. As the city manager may have explained while you were waiting on us, the mayors of the city of Harlingen, Edinburgh, and Brownsville met with the new University of Texas Chancellor, Dr. James Milliken, who was here in Harlingen at the Clinical Education Building on Treasure Hills. And then there was a ceremonial presentation of land that was acquired by the Harlingen Economic Development Corporation for the South Texas Foundation, 35 acres, that was ceremonially conveyed to the University of Texas Foundation, or RGV Foundation, for the development of the Institute of Neurosciences here in Harlingen. So unfortunately, this overlapped, and we needed to have this meeting tonight, so we had to start it late. I'm going to go to item 6, which is a public hearing to solicit comments regarding the proposed issuance by the Arizona Industrial Development Authority, the authority of its revenue bonds in one or more series from time to time pursuant to a plan of financing not to exceed $32 million.
Thank you, Mayor and Commissioners. This is a public hearing to meet the requirements of the IRS code. The city is not issuing bonds. We are not issuing debt at all with regards to the hotel. The bonds are being issued by the Arizona Industrial Development Authority, and the borrower is going to be the Provident Group. And we do have David Grand with the Provident Group, and we do have Michelle Benitez with Preston Hollow here in the audience with us, as well as Brandon Rainey. So again, this is just to comply with the IRS code and in accordance with the regulations.
All right. And again, we want to stress, because there may have been some, I want to stress that there's no financial support being given by the city of Harlingen to the hotel side of the project. This is simply a financing mechanism that's available to the developer to be able to finance this in a way and it's available because it is associated with this public project, the convention center. All right, but now I'll open the public hearing. Is there anyone who'd like to speak for or against the proposed resolution? Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor Boswell and Commissioners. My name is Minerva Simpson, 15701 Perkins Road in Harlingen. I've come here tonight as a concerned citizen about the changes that have been proposed by BC Lind Hospitality of San Antonio. When the words creative financing are used, this is a red flag in lending, which normally indicates it's a higher price loan with higher costs due to high risk factors involved. 40 years is too long of a debt. It didn't work in the mortgage industry, so how could it even be considered when using public funds? There's been a lack of transparency from the city with the disclosure of the projections of revenue and deficits of this project. Insofar, the only source of information has been the news media, Valley Morning Star and Texas Monitor, to name just a few. Requests by the media for this information have been previously denied by the city and the Texas Attorney General. I understand that both have utilized the Boeing exception to keep this public business secret due to possible concerns with competition. Why? The community needs to know. Understanding the revenue bonds are normally backed by a stream of revenue, we don't know the projections of said revenue nor the potential losses which would have to be shared by the city. It is factual that there will be losses incurred based on historical data on local convention centers, which will in turn affect the revenue from hotel-motel usage, which has remained constant with no growth being documented since 2014. Therefore, the income from the hotel motel tax may not be sufficient to cover any additional costs without it negatively impacting other projects supported by this tax. So the $32 million question for you all is this: could there be an increase on property taxes in order to pay for these losses? Is this the future? I respectfully ask that each of you, as stewards of the city of Harlingen, take into consideration the long-term effects of your actions today on the future of the next 2 generations of our citizens. Pause.
All right.
You don't have to build today. There is always tomorrow. Thank you.
All right. Is there anyone else who would like to speak for or against the resolution?
Very well done. Excuse me. Gentlemen, I see, first we had a $20 million request to build a hotel, and now it's $32 million. Reminds me of the Bass Pro Shop debacle, okay? We're still paying on that. Oh, the marketing studies and feasibility studies all said, well, this is going to pay for itself. Well, we know better. You don't tell us that as citizens. You don't ask us if we want to build a convention center. You don't ask us to go into debt for 40 years, okay? Who's going to pay this bond back? The hotel? Not. Okay, let's say, for instance, they build a hotel for $20 million. They get $12 million. Later down the line, they default on all of this. Who's going to be responsible for that? The city of Harlingen?
No.
No.
No? Okay, then who gets the hotel? Who gets the property? You know, you spent $337,000 an acre for that land. That ain't chump change, okay? And you're spending stuff right and left. You got a destination park somewhere doing all this other stuff, and our streets are gone bad. You've taxed us at 58% per 100, but you forget to tell us that it's 5.4% on top of that because of the street tax, not a tax, but a fee. Now, do we have, are you guys like trying to hoodwink us? What's up with this stuff? You know, I look at these commissioners that are here. None of you are responsible for the Bass Pro Shop debacle. But now you're going to be responsible for over about $50 million, and you're going to want to. They're going to want more for that. Okay. So now what's happening here is you're spending all the future monies, and you're going to. The city is running down. You got people leaving.
Yeah,
The commercial. Retail is leaving.
that's right.
You got the Valley Vista going down. You know, what's the future of Harlingen? Well, you're going to have to be indebted. The citizens, what? You know that we're the third poorest country in the city in the nation? The third poorest. Now, how are you going to make money on sales tax when we don't got no money?
All right.
Now, you're going to tell us,
You've exceeded your time. So
Okay.
I'm just going to ask you to just go ahead and wrap it up.
I would just tell you that don't get sucked into this thing. This is another debacle. You don't need the hotel. There's a hotel across the street from there. You know, you're already spending too much money on a convention center that we all know that they don't make money. In fact, they're a burden to the city. Thank you for your time.
Yolanda Shoffett. This in Harlingen has been a total nightmare. We have so many hotels. We don't have enough people to put them in, people to put in there. And we want to make another hotel to put us in the hole? Where is this money coming from that we don't have, that we're never going to have? You people need to. Sears has gone under. Valle Vista has gone under. Bass Pro is hanging on by the And let me tell you something what's going under. Sam's, I heard, if you Google it, all over, Sam's is going under. They got FedEx going in and giving people their pink slips. Is it going to hit Harlingen? Come on, folks, let's wake up and smell the Kalungan coffee. This is wrong, wrong, wrong. Do not do it. This is going to put us in the hole. And these are the taxpayers, registered voters, and citizens. They don't want it. We do not need another hotel. Upscale. What are the other ones? Low? You gave him permission, come here. Who's staying there? Nobody. So you think Marriott's, you're going to fill it up? No. Somebody needs to wake up.
Okay, is there anyone else who would like to speak for or against the issuance of the resolution?
No, just a public hearing. Just a public hearing.
All right, hearing,
The next one's the number 7 is a resolution.
okay, hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing and go to item 7, which is consideration of possible action to approve a resolution approving the issuance of the Arizona Industrial Development Authority of its revenue bonds in one or more series in aggregate principal amount not to exceed $32 million to finance the cost of acquiring, designing, constructing, and equipping a convention center hotel for Provident Group, Harlingen Properties, LLC.
Again, Mayor, this is part of the process. A resolution is required to comply with the requirements. Again, the city is not issuing any bonds. The city is not issuing any debt. We are not obligated in any way on this transaction. These bonds are being issued by the Arizona Industrial Development Authority and to the owner, what will be the owner of the hotel, the Provident Group Harlingen LLC. We do have representatives of both those groups and Preston Hollow in the audience. And staff is recommending approval of the resolution to move forward with the issuance by the Arizona Industrial Development Authority.
There's a move to approve, second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign, motion carries. Item 8 is the consideration of possible action to approve a corporation and development agreement between the City of Harlingen and Provident Group, Harlingen Properties, LLC, for the construction of the hotel adjacent to the Harlingen Convention Center, and authorize the city managers to sign the agreement.
I'm going to try to summarize this, Mayor, and Michelle and David, you guys can chime in if you all need to, but this agreement between us and Provident Group Properties is basically for disposition of the hotel once it is paid for by Provident Group. We are agreeing that once the hotel is paid for in full, that we would either take ownership as a city of the property, including the land, or we would allow an operator to continue to operate the hotel on behalf of the city and receive all the revenues from that operation. So, and all that is spelled out in the agreement. It has some additional conditions that we can appoint someone to a board if we so desire. We do not waive any of our immunity, and we are not obligated in any way to pay for any part of these bonds. Did I get any part of that wrong, gentlemen? So, and again, staff is recommending approval. Again, once the transaction and the bonds are paid for, the city would take ownership of the hotel, which again would be connected to our convention center. This is a benefit to the city, and all this is being done to lessen the burden of governance on the city, because having a hotel connected to our convention center does make our convention center a more financially stable project. So again, staff is recommending approval.
Yeah,
Second.
all right. And just to say again and to reiterate, because there has been there's been some things that were either have been mischaracterized about this deal. We are not, as the city manager has said, we are not obligated in any way, and we have had our bond counsel, we've had our financial advisors, and we have had our city attorneys thoroughly examine the transaction to assure that there is absolutely no obligation, financial or otherwise, on the part of the city of Harlingen. What this is it's a private developer coming in that wants to invest up to $32 million in a project in this city. That's a good thing. When people from outside of the area want to invest their money, not your money or not the city's money, but they want to invest their money into this project, that is a very positive thing. They have to buy the materials locally to build the hotel, and they'll employ people. It will be another part of the development of this area that we're developing, and it's part of the growth of the city. So I hope that everybody understands that if you think we're being obligated on bonds, we're not. We're not approving the sale or the issuance of bonds. We are not borrowing money. This is a borrowing that is between the developer and somebody else. All right. All those in favor say, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries. Thank you all very much. We're going to go back to the regular items on the agenda, which is
Board recognition.
board recognition.
Yeah.
You have is Rudy Martinez still here? Mr. Martinez? Is Rudy Martinez still here? No. So that was the board recognition. Item 2 is the proclamation proclaiming November 8th through the 10th, November 15th through the 17th, and December 1st, 2018 as Harlingen Professional Firefighters Local Field of Boot Days. Okay, this is always such a
I didn't
great
do it.
thing that our firefighters do for our community and for this great community every year. And we're here to congratulate all of you for the time that you put in supporting this important need of our community. So we're going to read this proclamation. It says, whereas the Harlingen professional firefighters are the prime example of public service and sacrifice, displaying the nobility to protect the citizens of our community every day. And whereas the Harlingen professional firefighters members are highly dedicated and trained individuals who demonstrate American ideals, the ultimate standard of character and courage in the face of danger. And whereas the Harlingen professional firefighter members selflessly contribute their time and energy fighting for kids and adults with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related life-threatening diseases that severely limit muscle strength and mobility by filling the boot each year for the Muscular Dystrophy Association. And whereas in the past 5 years, the Harlingen Professional Firefighters has raised more than $145,000 for NDA through the annual Field Boot campaign, and whereas the city of the Harlingen Professional Firefighters' endless service to NDA has given so much hope for families fighting life-threatening muscle diseases, now therefore I, Chris Boswell, Mayor of the City of Harlingen, do hereby proclaim November 8th through 10th, November 15th through 17th, and November 29th through December 1st, 2018, as Harlingen Professional Firefighters Local Field of Boot Days. So I want to congratulate you all and present that proclamation to you. Would you like to say anything?
No, just really a thank you to all of you guys for continuing to support us, and really a big thank you to the fire department for always going out there. You guys are continuing to be the leaders of field boot here in the valley locally, so that's a wonderful thing to be proud of. And all the money has done lots of stuff. We've had a lot of recent research breakthroughs that are really helping even a couple of towns from here locally who have been receiving a new treatment that's been helping them. I mean, he's attending school here in Harlingen, and it's something he thought he was never going to be able to do, but it's all thanks to what you guys do every year, and of course the citizens for donating every year.
Great. I'm just going to take our picture now.
1, 2, 3, 1 more.
Okay. Applause. Item number 3 is a presentation by Harlingen Fire Lieutenant Andy Galvan to recognize the support of the City of Harlingen and the City Commission during the recent barbecue competition fundraiser held on October 5th and 6th, 2018 at Fair Park Boulevard behind Casa de Amistad.
Good evening. Mayor Boswell, City Manager Serna, elected Harlingen Commission members, city administrators, and guests. My name is Andy Gavan, and I'm a lieutenant with the Harlingen Fire Department. I'm a proud member of the Harlingen Professional Firefighters Association, Local 3404, and the founder and promoter of the annual Harlingen's Bravest Cook-Off. As firefighters, it is our job to respond to emergency situations and disasters. Far too often, we witness homes destroyed, lives tragically lost, life-threatening accidents, and various other tragedies firsthand. It is the mission of the fire service to help save lives and protect personal property. Yet, we have to come to realize that our mission does not end there, and we need to do more to help our community. As a result, over the past decade, the Harlingen Professional Firefighters Association has developed the Emergency Assistance Fund to better serve our citizens who've been affected by such tragedies of fire or related emergencies in the form of financial assistance. The Harlingen's Bravest Cook-Off does just that. This event was held on October 5th and 6th in front of White Wing Stadium. We had a total of 41 teams, and we raised just over $2,000. All proceeds from this cook-off benefit the Emergency Assistance Fund. So at this time, we would like to say thank you. Thank you for supporting our event and making it as successful as it has ever been. Thank you for allowing us the partnership with other city entities to make this event a safe and family-friendly event. And most importantly, thank you for supporting and believing in our mission. Together, we can lend a helping hand, and be a better brother, sister, or good neighbor when the time comes. Thank you. That right there is our grand champion and our reserve grand champion of the event. So they're the top 2 people out of the 41 teams that we had. And there's a little thank you. So we hope that we continue to work together with you guys. Just so you know, we bring people from out of town as far as San Antonio and Laredo. Actually, the guy who won was from Laredo. So we get people from all across South Texas and even up to San Antonio, like I said. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you,
Great,
sir.
for a great event. Okay, item number 4 is the approval of the regular meeting minutes of September 19th, 2018. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. The motion carries. Let's take up item 5B separately from the consent agenda. It'll be the second and final reading to approve an ordinance amending Chapter 28, licenses, permits, and miscellaneous regulations by adding Article 11, dockless vehicle permits, and amend Chapter 18 of the Master Fee Ordinance to reflect fee changes.
Mayor, Commissioners, I just wanted to bring you up to speed. Some new developments have taken place since we've had the first reading of this ordinance. It looks like we're going to move away from dockless bicycles and that bike share program. It looks like the Lower Rio Grande Valley Development Council wants to become the vendor or the operator of the program themselves, and we're going to go with a docked bicycle program. And what we want to do is, we think the ordinance would still work with some revisions, so we would like to pull this and bring it back at a later date with the revisions once we have the details of the new program that we want to implement. So staff is asking that we not take action on this until we bring it back.
Okay, well, let's table it then. Is there a motion to table?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Go back to the rest of the consent agenda, items 5A and 5C through G. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 9, public hearing to consider an ordinance on first reading to rezone from residential single-family R1 district to residential duplex R2 district for Lot 12, Block 89, Harlingen Original Town Site located at 422 West Polk Avenue. Applicant Juan Leonel Torres.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners.
The applicant and property owners requesting to rezone the subject property from residential single-family R1 to residential duplex R2 to allow for a duplex to be built on the property. There is an existing single-family residence on the subject property, and the future plans are for that to be removed, demolished, and a new structure to be constructed on the property. The surrounding properties are zoned general retail to the north, south, and west, and residential to the east. The surrounding land uses consist of a beauty salon, some shoe repair shop, a tortilla factory where they make tortillas, a single residence. There's a church and multifamily residential as well. The future land use plan shows this area to be mixed use. Although the request is not consistent with the future land use plan, it is lower intense zoning than the mixed use, and it also is consistent with the multifamily residential land use that is to the southwest and to the west. To present, the planning and zoning has not received any objection from the surrounding property owners, and the planning and zoning and staff recommend approval.
On that area, are they gonna require like a parking for, since it's gonna be a duplex?
Yes, sir.
Do they have on the plan, is it showing it?
There's no plan
Yeah,
yet. There's
nothing yet.
been submitted yet. He would have to comply with any building permits and engineering and thus forth.
How many parking spaces that, you know?
It would, for a duplex, it would be 4.
I drove by the property today, and it wouldn't take much to be an improvement.
Correct.
Okay, we need to have a
Oh, we have to.
we have to have a public hearing. Item A is public hearing. Is there anyone to speak for or against this rezoning? Hearing none, I'll close the public hearing. Go to item B, which is consideration possible action to approve an ordinance on first reading to rezone from residential single-family R1 district to residential duplex R2 district for Lot 12, Block 89, Harlingen original town site for the above described location. Any more questions?
No.
Is there a motion to?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion to approve. Oh, I guess I should have asked you to read the caption. It's an ordinance. It's an ordinance.
It's an ordinance. An ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Harlingen, rezoning from residential single-family R1 district to residential duplex R2 district for Lot 12, Block 89, Harlingen Original Town Site subdivision located at 422 West Polk Avenue, providing for publication and ordaining other matters related to the foregoing.
Okay, now is there a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign, motion carries. So item 10 is a consideration of possible action to award a loan utilizing community development block grant funds to provide for the home reconstruction for Mr. Ignacio Rangel for his home located at 922 West Grant Street, Mr. Faustino Bermudez for his home located at 1213 West Grant Street, and Mr. Tranquilino Ramirez for his home located at 417 West Marjorie Street.
Good
Tammy.
evening. We solicited bids for the homeowners at the 3 above referenced properties, and we're really excited because we partnered with TSTC and their construction trades program to design this home. We received 6 bids. We sent it out to over 100 persons on our bidders list. We had 16 pick it up, so we had a really good group of guys that submitted the bids. I provided you a copy of them to show the amount. We're recommending that CDBG funds be used to provide the financial assistance for the homeowners for the 1,044 square foot home on all 3 lots.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Tammy? Is there,
Looks good.
okay, is there a motion to award the loans?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign, motion carries. Thank you. Item 11, consideration possible action to authorize the Harlingen Police Department to enter into a service agreement with AUSA Jail Services for jail phones at Harlingen City Jail and authorize the city manager to sign the agreement.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, City Managers. This item would be to install jail phones for use by our detainees. This would come at zero cost to the city. All expenses are being paid by a USA company. They will also handle any repairs or damages to these phones caused by any of the detainees using them. And the city will receive 35% of these of the cost for the calls in return to the city.
Are they currently providing the service?
No, we had a different company that, I don't have the name of that company. We had a different one from the time the building was built. Phones have since gone down. I think we're down to 1 or 2 working in the jail. So this would be a completely new contract, new equipment, and outfitted and so.
Okay. Is there a motion to authorize HPD to enter into the service agreement?
So moved.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign, motion carries. Item 12, consideration of possible action to authorize the mayor on behalf of the city of Harlingen to accept grant funding in the amount of $17,800 made available through the Office of the Governor Homeland Security Grants Division under the 2018 State Homeland Security Program.
Hello again. This item here will be for our, again, Homeland Security Grant in the amount of $17,800. That will be used to repair our mobile command system. Needs an upgrade to our power supply, our UPS, and it will also be for SWAT radios for our SWAT vehicles. This is a SWAT-specific grant tailored to anti-terrorism, so good for those items.
I move approval. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 13, consideration of possible action to authorize the city to participate in the American Electric Power AEP rate adjustment case filed by AEP to recover losses due to repairs from damage caused by recent natural disasters, hiring legal consulting services to review the filing and direct any necessary litigation and appeals.
Mayor, members of the commission, this case has already been settled. City of McAllen had hired Lloyd Gosling to actually start the process. AEP has agreed to reduce their rates by, their cost analysis by $13.7 million. AEP has also agreed to provide up to $75,000 to cover the legal expenses. This is not a COSA filing, so we would not have been eligible for any type of reimbursement. AEP has decided to do that. Lloyd Gosling, or in this case Tom Mercado, is asking that we still authorize participation in the case just to show solidarity among the cities in the valley. So staff is asking that we, even though the case has been settled, that we authorize the city to participate. And there won't be any cost to the city.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign, motion carries. Item 14, consideration of possible action to approve a resolution in support of the Pendleton Square apartments being submitted by Pendleton Square LP to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs for 2019 competitive 9% housing tax credits for the proposed development of the Pendleton Square Apartments affordable rental housing.
Mayor, members of the commission, we received this application from Connie De La Garza, representing Pendleton Square LP. This would be for a application to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs for 9% housing tax credits that would be located on the northwest corner of Doctors Memorial Drive. Staff is recommending approval of the application. I believe the applicants are here if you have any questions for them.
Northeast corner.
Northeast corner. Okay, I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
Second.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign, motion carries. Item 15, consideration of possible action to approve an ordinance on first reading to designate a no parking zone along 25th Street, 104 feet from the intersection of Hain Drive, extending north 700 feet on the west side, and 74 feet from the intersection of Hain Drive, extending north 390 feet on the east side of 25th Street.
Good evening. We recently restriped 25th Street between Hain and Ed Carey Drive. We upgraded the roadway to make it a more safe for motorists to go by. We went from a 2-lane to a 4-lane between Becky Lane and Hain Drive. They're eliminating parking in the area. Staff recommends approval.
I visited the area today, and I think we all received an email from one of the citizens that lives along there. And so the area from where there's a wide parking lane on both sides until approximately the curve as you're headed toward Treasure Hills Boulevard. And then all of those homes that are along there, that parking lane disappears and there will be no parking in front of their homes. And was that the plan all along?
Well, the existing
Because
conditions.
it looks like to me you could accommodate them by merging those lanes before you get to that curve and then having a turn lane when you get to Hain Drive that would help solve some of that because, you know, they won't be able to have anybody visit their house and park in front.
We can definitely extend the shoulder a little bit past the right we turn left on Treasure Hills. There's a left turn lane.
Right.
And we added 2 lanes. We can probably convert one of those into a shoulder.
Well, it would seem, just from looking at it, I would recommend that we at least take another look at it to see what we can do to help them out. I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I did drive over there today. And so I don't know how many houses are affected. I'd say it's like 15 houses or residences that might be affected. Maybe it's less than that. But they'll essentially, you know, there's no parking lane in front of their house, so nobody, if they came to visit them or had a party or had guests come, there's no place for them to park, except 2 blocks down the street.
And there's no parking in the rear, or, that's what I was gonna ask you, if there's, the reason you always had that design to an engineer, or who?
Yeah, I designed it.
You designed it? Okay, so what was the,
The purpose behind it.
right, please.
The configuration at the intersection of Treasure Hills and 25th was a little complicated. The lanes were too wide. We're getting a lot of phone calls about speeding. So we try to make the configuration more tight to try to slow down the traffic. Since 25th is a major collector, we can't put any speed humps and stuff like that. So the whole goal was to try and get the motor safely, you know, in and out and such.
Like to calm the traffic is what I
Yes.
think the term they use. But it seemed, like I said, it just seems like we could do, especially the part where you're turning to go, I'll call that south toward the hospital. As you come around there, you could just kind of have those 2 lanes merge into one, and then as you approach Hain Drive, create a turn lane there. That would work
Yes, I
there.
could
I don't
definitely-
know if it would be that easy going the other direction back to the north or not, but I think if you look at it, you could come up with a better plan,
So
maybe.
can we, I guess, table it?
Yeah, we can table it.
We can look at it and bring it back.
Yes,
Yeah.
I can relook at the area and see if I can get a better design on it.
Okay, so there's a motion at the table and a second.
Motion.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Right.
Thank you.
Item 16, consideration of possible action to rescind the action by the City Commission on October 16th, 2018, authorizing the city manager to enter into a lease purchase agreement with Yamaha for 65 golf carts. Javier?
Yes, Mayor, Mayor, City Commission. Back on October 16th, we had made a recommendation to enter into, or to ask the City Commission to allow city manager to enter into an agreement with Yamaha for the lease of 65 golf carts. After we got approval, we had found out that there was a second proposal out there that we were not aware of and we did not present to y'all. And so both of them were through the buy board. And so when we looked at the pricing, there will be a savings on the lease, and so it's a different vendor. And so our recommendation is that, or staff's recommendation is to ask the City Commission to rescind the decision that was made on October 16th.
Rescind the award.
Yes.
Okay, is there a motion to rescind?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Item 17, consideration of possible action to approve a lease purchase agreement between the City of Harlingen and Car Club.
Mayor, City Commission.
To purchase
Which y'all have
65
before
golf
you.
carts to be used at the Tony Butler Golf Course and authorize the city manager to sign the agreement.
Sorry. What y'all have before you is the proposal from Golf Cart, I'm sorry, Cart Club,
Club
Club
car.
Cart, Club Cart.
Just for.
Yeah, I got
Club
it
Cart.
backwards. So anyway, Club Cart.
For all the golfers in the audience.
And so it is, for the same thing, 65 golf carts. It's their gas. The pricing that we received was through the buy board. And so we would see about a $30,000 savings from the other vendor. And let's see, we'll be trading in the 75 golf carts, and they'll be giving us a trade-in value. The total trade-in is $126,250 for the existing 75 golf carts. And staff is recommending approval. And we're also requesting, instead of going through the lease, buying them outright and then paying back the general fund.
So what I would like to recommend to the mayor and city council is that we take funds out of the general fund balance, and we will bring forth a budget amendment at the next meeting to pay the $211,389.55. If we pay for them upfront, outright, we save an additional just over $30,000 over the next 5 years on the lease payments. Now, the entire $211,389.55 won't come out of general fund balance. We do have approximately $30,000 in depreciation that we can utilize, so we're only going to use the difference, and we will bring that back to the city council at the next meeting, along with some other budget amendments that we need to do.
Okay, so you're asking us to
Yes.
go ahead and approve this tonight?
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the lease purchase or purchase?
So moved.
Is there a second? We have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 18, consideration of possible action to approve a contract between the city of Harlingen and Elizabeth Rose Flores to provide water aerobics instruction at Pendleton Park Pool and authorize the city manager to sign the agreement. Oh, yeah?
Sorry.
You're back.
Yes,
you were
sir. This is an agreement with with Rose Flores, and she conducts our water aerobics at Pendleton Pool. And so she has requested same agreement or similar terms as we have with HAT, with John Tucker. And so what she's wanting to pay is the $200 a month for 12 months. So it'll be a total of $2,400 for the year. She'll be providing all the instruction, and she'll be collecting the fee, and so we won't be collecting any of that.
So this is just a continuation of the
Yes, sir.
same
Javier,
contractor?
In Hat's contract, do we have the times that they can use the pool?
Yes, sir.
In this contract, even though in our summary it talks about that she's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with 2 sessions, one being at 9 and one being at 10, and it lists all the times and everything, but we don't have that in the contract like we do in the Hat contract.
We could add that.
Yeah, just so we're clear, and there's no, right, Mr. Udine?
It would be nice to.
Sure, I will.
I'll motion for an approval pending those changes.
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Thank you.
like sign, motion carries. Item 19, consideration possible action to postpone the Harlingen regular city commission meeting of November 21st, 2018 to another date due to the Thanksgiving holiday.
Mayor, Commissioner, so our next meeting is scheduled for the 21st, the day before Thanksgiving. I don't know if any of you gentlemen are going to be out. I know Commissioner Yulhorn's going to be out that week. We do need to have a meeting, a second meeting in November. We do have some business to take care of. So
Are you available on the Tuesday?
no, I think you're leaving,
I'm not available next Tuesday,
no.
or this coming Tuesday. But,
How about a Monday?
So I was thinking, could we move it to the 26th, that Monday,
After Thanksgiving?
after Thanksgiving? And then, of course, our next meeting would be December the 5th, the next week. But there's some items that we take care of regarding the convention center, and
and Wednesday, the 28th, is not good.
it makes it very tight for us to put out the next agenda for the 5th.
Okay,
I'm trying to give us enough time to put the next agenda
I'm
out.
fine Monday.
Monday.
Okay, we'll do that.
The
Monday-
26th?
Monday, the 26th. Okay, is there-
Second.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign, motion carries. Item 20, any board appointments?
None.
None.
Item 21, executive closed session, pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 552.0712, on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the governmental body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct, the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with this chapter regarding recovery of delinquent hotel occupancy tax payments. B, pursuant to Section 551.071 Texas Government Code, consult with the city attorney regarding the fireman pension. C, personnel deliberation pursuant to Texas Government Code, Section 551.074, to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, or duties of the city auditor, and the same on item D with respect to the city attorney. Is there a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be meeting with our attorney, and there may be action on these items after we return. All right, we're back in out of executive session at 8:04. And so we are, there'll be no action on item 22. There'll be no action on item 23. Item 24, consideration of possible action is discussing executive session regarding item 21C. Is there a motion to approve the auditor's compensation as discussed in executive session?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Item 25, consideration possible action to approve an updated legal services agreement with the law firm of Denton, Navaro, Rocha, Bernal, and Zech PC for city attorney legal services fiscal year 2019. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. I don't see anybody left for citizen communication. So that concludes the meeting, and we're adjourned. Thanks, everybody.
I didn't think we were going to get out of here by